It's interesting, in the diversity and inclusion space, I see some really amazing people, well-meaning leaders who are just such decent human beings. And in being decent human beings, it's human nature not to want to upset someone. We're all like that, and I'm a bit of a Pollyanna in my view, and I believe that human beings don't want to upset others. So therefore, if someone is fundamentally different to you, it can be a bit awkward, not because you don't want to speak to them, but you don't really know what to say, and you don't really want to point out the difference because you don't want to be politically incorrect. You don't want them to feel uncomfortable. So what I suggest to leaders is that sometimes you've got to take a step back, because the research clearly shows that in kind of ignoring the difference, actually that makes the other person feel like their uniqueness is not really valued. So to me, I'm quite overt in talking about difference, but I'm deeply respectful. And what I do in raising that difference with people is I also show that I'm authentically curious, like really curious. I want to find out what makes them tick. So to me, for example, I've got a young gentleman in my team who comes from Africa. And I came right out and talked to him about the fact that, and I've pre-phrased it with, please don't be offended, but I'm actually really curious to know, how have you found coming to work in Australia, and how have you found, have you found that there's been any bias against you? And it was interesting in actually being open about the fact that he was black. We led into a whole new honest conversation. And it was interesting because one of my colleagues said to me, how can you say that? You can't say things like that to him. And I said, but I was being open and honest. I was being respectful. And in actually talking about his culture and his background, and one of the elements of that is that he has a different skin color. I was able to delve deeper into what the impacts of that have been, how he has really felt, and how he's been able to overcome that, and the things that he's had to do to pretend not to be black, right? So it's actually helped me to really get to know the essence of that individual. But he knows for a fact that it comes from a place of being deeply curious about him as an individual. I want to know his journey. I want to know what the things are that he's been through, because they make him who he is. They make him help me lead him differently, because I know sometimes I detect some of those things that he's told me about, that little bit of lack of confidence sometimes, that little bit of a remembrance around how he's been treated sometimes, and quite frankly, sometimes it's been appalling. And it reminds me that I need to boost his confidence, because he's had some things in the past which haven't really been, they make me cry actually to even think of some of the things that have happened to him. So to me, it's about getting brave. Pre-phrase it. If you're a little scared, tell them the truth. I'm a little nervous about raising this, but there's some things about you that fascinate me and I really want to know. If you treat people with respect and genuine curiosity, you will generally find that they're very receptive and enormously grateful that you've taken the time to really get to know them. It's all in the way you say it, all in the way you position it. And don't come to the table pretending that you're an expert. Be open and honest about the fact that you don't have a clue what life has been like for this individual, but you really want to know.